This is an analysis of the Dunedin, Florida community and is going to be presented to you by FL Morris. I will be discussing a historical overview of Dunedin and an analysis of the structure, population, adequacy of health-related resources and availability, environment, and government and public policy. I will also provide 6 prioritized community needs or problems. Dunedin's first land deed was recorded in 1852, and the city became incorporated in 1899. Dunedin is the oldest town on the west coast of Florida, south of Cedar Key. A dock was built early in Dunedin's history to accommodate schooners and sloops, which helped make Dunedin one of Florida's chief seaport and trading centers. Dunedin was home to the largest fleet of vessels in the state of Florida. A man named George L. Jones came to the settlement in 1877, which is now known as Dunedin, and opened a general store that he named Jonesboro. 2 Scotchmen, J. O. Douglas and James Somerville, arrived several years later and also opened a general store. These 2 men did not approve of the name Jonesboro and petitioned to the government for a post office to be named Dunedin, which was later approved. Dunedin's early settlers primarily grew cotton and citrus. The area that is now known as downtown Dunedin was once a giant cotton field. Dunedin's charming village-like town reflects the rich American and Scottish heritage of its founding fathers. Today, Dunedin has a population of 35,321 residents and has come a long way since the 1800s. It is now home to the popular Toronto Blue Jays team, the oldest library in Pinellas County, a fine arts center, a historical museum, a marina, and the famous Honeymoon Island State Park in Caladesi Island. Grant Field is the official name of the Toronto Blue Jays baseball field and is the site for every Blue Jays spring training season. This makes Toronto the only major league franchise that has never changed spring training cities. Honeymoon Island and Caladesi Island have been voted as some of the best in America. A large hurricane came through in 1921 and ripped the 2 islands apart, so they are now separate parks. Dunedin is also the only city in its area that does not have buildings blocking the views of the water. During my windshield survey, I noticed a big fluctuation in Dunedin's housing characteristics. Driving down Edgewater Drive, there are multi-million-dollar houses on the water, but in other parts of the community, there are single-family homes and townhomes with middle-class residents. There are also areas in Dunedin that have much older homes, mobile homes, and apartments. To assist the residents of Dunedin with housing needs, the City of Dunedin has a partnership with the Pinellas County Department of Community Development and the Dunedin Housing Authority. Their goal is to offer both quality and affordable housing opportunities to those who would not be able to afford homeownership. The Dunedin and surrounding areas have 47 homeless shelters that provide a free temporary place to stay. Another great resource for the Dunedin homeless population is the Homeless Empowerment Program that is conveniently located in Clearwater, Florida. They provide shelter, support services, and a sense of stability for families who have children that are in need. A few of Dunedin's places of worship include Grace Church of Dunedin, First Presbyterian Church of Dunedin, and North Dunedin Baptist Church. Every other month, North Dunedin Baptist Church holds a one-day mission in the community for the entire church to attend, with each trip taking them to a different local ministry. The Dunedin Causeway, Honeymoon Island, Happy Tales Dog Park, and Edgewater Park are just a few of the parks and recreation for residents and visitors. These places are great for exercise, bike riding, jogging, and getting your furry friends out of the house for some exercise or fishing on the beach. Dunedin's Community Center is a multi-purpose facility in the heart of Dunedin that offers full fitness center, dance and exercise studios, a playground, and a large multi-purpose room with a stage. Get-togethers, corporate events, and wedding receptions are often held here. The downtown Public Library was founded in 1895 and is the oldest library in Pinellas County. Today, the library is 38,000 square feet and is open 7 days a week to offer many different services and programs to their residents. Dunedin has both a police station and multiple fire stations serving the community. In Pinellas County, the average time for fire department or first responders to get to the scene is 4 minutes and 30 seconds. This time is less than the state of Georgia, whose response time is about 5 minutes. Dunedin has 25 public, charter, and private schools in their community. Dunedin High School is a public school that last received a rating of 3 out of 10. According to the community, the school has gone downhill over the years, and they are hoping for a change. The school is rated below average in quality, on state tests, and year-over-year academic improvement. Local residents state that they are trying to get their children into charter schools, though it is hard because it is the luck of the draw and many people register. Dunedin's unemployment rate is 4.4%, which is more than Pinellas County's unemployment rate of 3.8%. An article written by the European Journal of Social Psychology showed a correlation between higher crime rates and high unemployment rates, making this a possible issue for Dunedin. 8.6% of Dunedin's population has an education level that is 9th grade and below. That is a lot higher than the state of Florida's, which is 5.2%. An article written by BMC Public Health shows a correlation between lower levels of education and health literacy. Health literacy assists individuals in making effective use of the available health services within their community. An issue I observed in my windshield survey was cigarette smoking occurring in the parks that children play in. Exposure to secondhand smoke has been linked with poor health outcomes in children, including an increased risk of upper and lower respiratory tract infections, otitis media, asthma, dental caries, hearing loss, and metabolic syndrome. Cardiovascular disease and cancer are the leading causes of death in both Dunedin, Florida, and the United States. An article written by BMC Cardiovascular Disorders states that financial barriers impact patients' ability to self-manage their cardiovascular disease. This is concerning for Dunedin's 4.4% unemployment rate and 8.6% education level at 9th grade and below. Dunedin would benefit from dropout prevention programs for the children at risk. Meast Dunedin Hospital is easily accessible, conveniently located on Main Street, and open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They take most insurances along with self-pay. Maynard Care Health Services Dunedin is a Medicare certified facility that accepts most managed care and commercial insurance, as well as private payment. They are also easily accessible and open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Population at this facility is geared towards geriatrics that require nursing home care, assisted living, and independent living. The first objective I chose was to reduce the proportion of children aged 3 to 11 years exposed to secondhand smoke. According to Healthy People 2020, 52.2% of children aged 3 to 11 years were exposed to secondhand smoke in 2015 to 2018. 2.5 million deaths have occurred among non-smokers who died from diseases caused by secondhand smoke exposure since 1964. Secondhand smoke can cause many different problems in children, such as respiratory infections, ear infections, sudden infant death syndrome, and more severe asthma attacks. The second objective I chose was to increase the proportion of preschool, early Head Start, and Head Start programs that provide health education to prevent health problems and unhealthy dietary patterns. As stated previously, the leading causes of death both in Dunedin and the U.S. is cardiovascular disease. Implementing health education to prevent health problems and unhealthy dietary patterns will positively impact these leading causes of death. An unhealthy diet is a risk factor for both cardiovascular disease and cancer, so increasing education early on for children will be beneficial to this community. With heart disease being the leading cause of death in both this community and the U.S., the last objective I chose was to reduce coronary heart disease deaths. Seeing a reduction in these deaths will show that the community is becoming healthier overall. Dunedin is home to 31 parks and more than 240 acres of green space dedicated to public use for hiking, biking, and picnicking. City parks are open from sunrise to sunset. This outdoor environment significantly enhances the quality of life in Dunedin for its residents and visitors. The city has achieved the Tree City USA Award every year since 1989 for its continued commitment to improve the city's tree canopy. While driving through this community on my windshield survey, the roadways were well paved, well lit in the evening, and there was very limited construction that delayed traffic. The main roads also had bike lanes on the right-hand side for bicyclists, which is great for the community's safety. Neighborhoods had curbside garbage and recycling. The Pinellas Trail runs through this community as well and offers a unique place for walking, jogging, skating, and biking. Pinellas County Parks and Conservation Resources is responsible for the trail's maintenance and operating costs. The main environmental concern among residents in Dunedin is the conservation of wildlife. Honeymoon Island is home to just about every bird in the region: gopher tortoises, raccoons, armadillos, and rattlesnakes. Though this is a state park, residents are still sometimes concerned with the amount of people that visit the beach each year because they want the wildlife on the island to be preserved. The City of Dunedin currently oversees 28+ active boards, committees, agencies, and authorities as part of their dedication to serve their community. All board and committee meetings are open to the public and residents are highly encouraged to attend. The City Clerk's office is continually seeking applications from qualified citizens interested in serving on any of the city's 28+ active boards, committees, agencies, and authorities. The city operates under a nonpartisan form of government. 4 commissioners and a mayor are elected by the registered voters of Dunedin under a staggered system that ensures that the city will have a degree of experience serving on the commission at all times. Commission meetings are held at City Hall on the first and third Thursday of every month at 6 p.m. The city clerk is appointed by and reports directly to the city commission. The city clerk's staff is comprised of a deputy clerk, a records management specialist, administrative assistant, and 2 male clerks. The community is overall happy with their government and public policy system, and according to their residents, they have a great turnout at the public meetings. Heart disease, cancer, secondhand smoke exposure to children, low school ratings, lack of dropout prevention programs, and high unemployment rates are my top 6 prioritized needs for this community. Choosing these 2 topics for the first and second prioritized community issues was a no-brainer for me. If we can eliminate the 2 leading causes of death both in Dunedin, Florida, and the United States, then we would have a healthier community and the community's residents would live a longer life. I felt that heart disease and cancer were definitely the 2 priorities for this community. Since those 2 came first, the third priority is definitely working to eliminate secondhand smoke exposure to children. Extensive research has been done on the effects of secondhand smoke exposure, and it's important that the community is aware that it has been linked with poor health outcomes in children, including an increased risk of upper and lower respiratory tract infections, otitis media, asthma, dental caries, hearing loss, and metabolic syndrome. Low school ratings is my 4th prioritized community issue because a good education early on in life is very influential in a person's future. With low school ratings, children are not receiving the best education, and this can negatively affect their future and the community's future. Dropout prevention programs would benefit this community as 8.6% of Dunedin's population has an education level that is 9th grade and below. Preventing students from dropping out of high school will in turn promote health literacy and eventually help decrease the high mortality rate of heart disease and cancer. The last community issue I chose was the high unemployment rate. Dunedin's unemployment rate is at a 4.4%. Decreasing the unemployment rate would positively impact the community's crime rate. These are my references. References continued.